Good day and welcome to Mayo Kings TV News. I am Timiela Emanuela. First, the headlines. Senator Nwoko, Dafinone, Joel-Onowakpo and Honorable Waive commended for intervention efforts. Senator Nwoko fought attempts to twist Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension into gender victimization. Delta Speaker Gowo receives vote of confidence from legislative aides. EFCC arrests TikTok star Mojo Ibrahim Konya for alleged abuse of currency. On entertainment, the bitter feminist docudrama set to debut at IREP International Film Festival 2025. On the business news, World Bank to grant Nigerians $1.1 billion loan request. On the foreign scene, U.S. deports hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members despite court order. Plus, Lookman's Atlanta stumble in title race after home defeat to Inter. Now the news in full. The intervention of Senator Ned Nwoko, Ede Dafinone and Joel-Onowakpo Thomas, alongside Right Honorable Francis Waive, in the Okuama crisis has drawn commendations from various quarters. Their roles in addressing the violence that erupted in Delta community have been recognized as crucial in de-escalating tensions and pushing for justice. The lawmakers representing different constituencies in Delta State were actively involved in legislative and diplomatic efforts following the tragic killing of soldiers and the subsequent military invasion of Okuama. Their advocacy for peace, justice, and rehabilitation of affected communities has been widely acknowledged. Senator Nwoko, representing Delta North, was among the first to call for a thorough investigation into the killings, urging authorities to ensure that innocent civilians were not caught in the aftermath. As investigations into the Okuama crisis continued, the role of these lawmakers will remain critical. Advocacy for justice, reconstruction efforts, and long-term peace-building measures will determine the effectiveness of their intervention. For now, their efforts have been noted, but expectations remain high for concrete results. Amid growing controversy surrounding the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, Senator Ned Munir Nwoko has called for a clear distinction between factual events and emotional narratives, asserting that discipline and order in the state must not be compromised. Senator Nwoko, representing Delta North, condemned what it described as an attempt to misrepresent the Senate's action as an attack on women in politics, emphasizing that the issue at hand was about decorum and legislative procedure, not gender-based discrimination. The Delta North Senator further disclosed that he had personally reached out to Akpoti-Uduaghan, advising her to apologize to the Senate to prevent her suspension. On allegations of sexual harassment against the Senate President, Nwoko clarified that such claims were never brought before the Senate. He argued that the matter, which allegedly took place over a year ago, was only raised after Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension, making it questionable. Meanwhile, Nwoko warned against the exploitation of gender sentiments to justify indiscipline in the Senate. Also, he criticized the role of Akpoti-Uduaghan's husband in escalating the crisis, expressing disappointment that he did not seek to de-escalate tensions despite being a long-time friend of the Senate President. In a significant display of solidarity and trust, over 200 legislative aides of the 29 members of the Delta State House of Assembly on Thursday passed implicit votes of confidence in the presiding officer and Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Dennis Gowo. The confidence vote in the motion moved by the private secretary to the member representing Brutu 2nd constituency, Anthony Bafede, seconded by the legal assistants to the member representing Ika North East, Barrister Anna Enyawuli, was also extended to the Speaker's team of the leadership of the 8th Assembly. This endorsement came during a three-day workshop organized in honor of the legislative aides, with the theme "The Role of Legislative Aides in Enhancing Members' Productivity in the State Legislature," aimed at enhancing their skills and performance. Reacting to the resounding vote of confidence on the Speaker and his leadership by the legislative aides, the Chief Press Secretary to the Speaker, Delta State Assembly, Nkem Wike, described the development as deserved. Wike, in a statement, acknowledged the vote of confidence on his boss and expressed gratitude to the members' aides for the trust and support for the Speaker. The CPS reiterated the Speaker's commitment to delivering effective representation and legislation for the people of Delta State. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in Kano State has arrested popular TikTok star Murja Ibrahim Kanya on charges of naira mutilation and abuse, specifically for spraying money, an act that violates Nigerian law. It was confirmed to Freedom Radio Kano that Murja is currently in EFCC custody. The EFCC has been intensifying its crackdown on individuals who engage in the indiscriminate spraying of money at events such as parties and birthday celebrations. Recently, the Commission also arrested TikTok influencers, including Alhamin G. Fresh and Aisha Idris, on similar charges. As of now, neither the EFCC nor Murja Ibrahim Konya's legal representatives have issued an official statement regarding the matter. Now on entertainment news. The Bitter Feminist, a bold new docudrama by Hard Fact Studios, will have its first public viewing at the 2025 Europe International Documentary Film Festival, a platform renowned for showcasing socially relevant storytelling. The docuseries sheds light on feminism, oppression, and resistance in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. Created by Daniel Chukwuemeka and Ijoma Shinonyerim, the 5-episode series unpacks the realities of gender inequality through raw storytelling and real-life testimonies. At its core is Ringrent, a young woman from northern Nigeria who survived rape and forced marriage, embodying the resilience of countless women fighting for their rights. By premiering at Arab Festival, the Bitter Feminist aims to ignite critical conversations on gender justice in Africa. More than just a film screening, it is a call to action, as it makes its highly anticipated debut on March 29, 2025, marking its first ever public viewing. The docudrama challenges audience to confront uncomfortable truths and reimagine a more equitable future. Now on the business news. The World Bank may approve a total of $1.13 billion in loans for Nigeria before the end of March 2025, as part of ongoing efforts to support the country's economic resilience, health security, and education reforms. According to information published on the World Bank's website, 3 key projects for Nigeria are at the stage of negotiation, with approval date set for this month. Among the projects set for negotiation is the Accelerating Nutrition Results in Nigeria 2.0 program, valued at $80 million, which is expected to be approved by March 31, 2025. This initiative is aimed at improving nutrition outcomes, particularly among vulnerable groups, by enhancing access to essential dietary support and reducing malnutrition rates. Another project in the negotiation phase is the Community Action for Resilience and Economic Stimulus Program, which has a commitment value of $500 million and is expected to be approved by March 24, 2025. The project is designed to provide economic stimulus for community-driven initiatives to strengthen economic resilience and growth. The Hope for Quality Basic Education for All program, with a proposed funding of $552.2 million, is also at the negotiation stage and is expected to secure approval by March 31st, 2025. Now on the foreign scene, more than 200 Venezuelans alleged by the White House to be gang members have been deported from the U.S. to a supermax prison in El Salvador, even as the U.S. judge blocked the removers. El Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele wrote on social media that 238 members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua had arrived in the Central American country, along with 23 members of the international MS-13 gang on Sunday morning. Neither the U.S. government nor El Salvador has identified the detainees nor provided details for their alleged criminality or gang membership. The federal judge's order prevented the Trump administration from invoking a centuries-old wartime law to justify some of the deportations, but the flights had already departed. U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Saturday that he had signed a proclamation invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 as he accused Tren de Aragua of perpetrating, attempting and threatening an invasion of predatory incursion against the territory of the United States. Now, in the world of sports. Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman saw 83 minutes of action as Inter Milan extended their advantage at the top of the Serie A standings to 3 points with a 2-0 win over third-placed Atlanta. Atlanta have now suffered a third loss to Inter without scoring in all competitions this season. Also, Atlanta are in the third place on the 58 points, 6 points behind leaders Inter. The match between the division's joint highest scorers took under 7 minutes to produce its first golden chance. An expert Lautaro Martinez pass unlocked the home defense and sent Marcos Thuram through on goal. The striker beat goalkeeper Marco Canici, but saw his finish clip the inside of the post and came out. Meanwhile, Atlanta, who also saw Gasperini dismissed, are still looking for a first Serie A home success of 2025. Now to end the news, a quick recap on our headlines. Senator Nwoko, de Dafinone, Onwokpako and Honorable Waive commended for intervention efforts. Senator Nwoko fought attempts to twist Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension into gender victimization. Delta Speaker Gowon receives votes of confidence from legislative aides. EFCC arrests TikTok star Moja Ibrahim Kunya for alleged abuse of currency. On entertainment, the beta feminist docudrama set to debut at IREP International Film Festival 2025. On the business news, World Bank to grant Nigeria $1.1 billion loan request. On the foreign scene, U.S. deports hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members despite court order. Plus, Lookman's Atlanta stumble in title race after home defeat to Inter Milan. That ends the news from Mayor Kings TV, as read and edited by Emanuela. Thanks for watching.